We're continuing our team coverage on the return to school now. Alabama's colleges and universities now have another way to help track COVID-19 cases on campus. There's now an app for that.
It alerts students who may have had close contact with someone who tested positive, and students will be encouraged to use it. As students return to Spring Hill's campus next week, they'll be asked to download a new app called GuideSafe.
They have been around somebody who has been exposed. It anonymously alerts them that they have been exposed. So that will help us identify when students have been around somebody who may be asymptomatic.
And is this something that's going to be highly promoted that students use, or is this going to be a mandate that students have to use this app?
So the notifications app will be voluntary opt-in. So we will be asking students to do it, but we will not necessarily be requiring them to do it.
The University of Alabama at Birmingham, in partnership with Google and Apple, developed the app. Users self-report when they've tested positive for COVID-19, and through Bluetooth technology, the app determines if you've been in close contact with someone who's tested positive within 14 days.
And then that app will notify anonymously anyone who would be considered a close contact, which that is anyone who's been within 6 feet for 15 minutes essentially gets a text message and that says, you've been exposed to a case of COVID.
UAB acknowledges the privacy concerns some may have.
All the app knows is the date of exposure, how long the exposure lasted, and the Bluetooth signal strength between the phones. No other personal information.
State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris says GuideSafe will be another tool in the toolbox to help identify cases and reduce the spread of the virus.
I think it has a role to play. You know, again, it's not going to be the be-all, end-all. I think the real advantage of this app would be that you could get an exposure notification even though you had no idea you were exposed to someone, and even though that person had no idea who you were.
Now, this is the pilot phase of the program. Once that's ended later this month, the GuideSafe app could be made available for the mass public to download.